Well, hello, Dr. Jurado. Hello, everyone. My name is Elena Hershey. I am the Executive Director with Stilettos and Lipstick Foundation, the Women and Children Empowerment Organization. This month, we are celebrating the empowerment of women and children, and SSL is bringing to you the 4 live episodes of EmpowHer, the power of pause, where we are featuring our special guests, our corporate partners who truly embrace the empowerment of women. And today, I am very happy and honored to present to you our guest, Dr. Jurado from MD Touch and Aesthetics. And Dr. Jurado have been a supporter of SSL for many, many years and as corporate partner as well. And Dr. Jurado is very passionate and compassionate and so knowledgeable about women's issues, wellness, and health as well as disease prevention. So let me read to you Dr. Jurado's amazing credentials before we ask him our questions. Dr. Carlos Jurado is a seasoned board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist with over 33 years of experience. He holds degrees from the University of Puerto Rico, San Juan City Hospital, fellow of the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology. He also possesses a PhD in philosophy with concentration in clinical sexology from Maimonides University and a certification in clinical sexology from the American Academy of Human Sexology. Proficient in robotic surgery and minimally invasive laparoscopic procedures since 2011, he is devoted to wellness and disease prevention. Dr. Jurado is a proud corporate partner and a longtime supporter of Stilettos and Lipstick Foundation's mission of empowering women and children. His dedication to women's health and wellness really aligns with SSL's mission. Welcome, Dr. Jurado.
Thank you, Elena. And again, I feel very honored. I'm very excited to be able to address the SSL community. I got to tell you that EmpowHer name is very meaningful and is very exciting about the message that we want to convey to our audience.
Yes, yes, truly. And thank you for also empowering us and all the women that you see every day in your practice. So I want to ask you, from a doctor's perspective who treats women daily, how can integrating moments of pause into our everyday schedules really enhance the women's overall performance, well-being, and foster personal development and growth?
But, first to understand how important is to pause, we need to understand what are the consequences of not pausing. In our society, we are driven by productivity. Hustling and grinding is considered the norm, and being multitasking, be able to do a bunch of different things at the same time is glorified. If we're not busy, people will think that you're lazy, and also that you are, or you are a procrastinator. But we have to consider pausing as the health benefit of pausing, because the consequences of living the way we live with the deadlines and all this stress buildup is very, very disruptive for our health. So we need to stop and smell the roses. Okay, because that's going to help us to actually balance our mind with our bodies. The consequences are very detrimental. You people who live with a lot of stress live with a lot of other medical conditions derived from that stress. So when we're going to talk about health optimization, we have to keep in mind among the 5 fundamentals that stress mitigation is very important. The other things, just in general, for everybody, men and women, we need to keep an eye on our hormone balancing, able that we keep our body in movement with exercise, eating right, supply with nutraceuticals. So we keep our body, our mind in the better good shape. But stress mitigation is very important. And to mitigate stress, we need to pause. Because when we pause, we refocus, we recharge, we then also can restore that energy that will allow us to be more productive. And the opposite will be right. If we don't do that, eventually we're going to crash. And you're going to see that we increase our risk of cardiovascular diseases, obesity, diabetes. Our life quality is going to also deteriorate. Sex drive go down. We start having issues with energy, brain functions. So everything deteriorates faster when we don't take that time, that pause to regenerate.
Sounds so important because we are bombarding in everyday's life from every direction. And it's almost, we have to take the opposite, what we're used to. Instead of doing more, we have to allow ourselves as women and give ourselves the permission to pause because it's very significant to recharge.
Remember,
Sounds good.
it's a
That's the first step,
misconception
to
that,
give yourself a permission.
yes, it's a misconception that if, okay, I have to be meeting all my deadlines, and because if not, I will be considered to be less productive. But if you're not healthy, you cannot be productive. That's the bottom.
So true. So Dr. Jurado, tell us, how can mindfulness and meditation enhance women's ability to pause?
The mindfulness is actually a state of your mind where you can internalize and understand where you at in a given time, and then analyze yourself. See what are you doing in that particular time, and see how effective are you being when you're there. Because in that way you can understand how the environment is affecting you. And then if you don't, and then you start realizing what changes you have to make to improve. And through meditation, you can actually get to that mindset that will allow you to refresh your all vision of the way you are being acting, the way you want, and the thing you need to improve. And you create that through meditation. If you meditate, you can separate yourself from your surrounding. In that way, you can see like from the outside. And then you are in the outside, but you are seeing yourself in that environment. In that way, you can analyze what is your role and how the environment is affecting you. Meaning environment is your pretty much your work environment or your family environment, that everything have tremendous effect on how you feel. So the problem is to take the time to do it. And sometimes people say, well, I don't have the time to spend half an hour to 1 hour, 15 minutes, like sitting down to just analyze what's going on with my life. But it's important. It's important because you don't take that time, how you going to have an objective vision of the direction you want to take?
I see. So sounds like at least 30 minutes, but do you think even taking 5, 10 minutes to breathe and meditate, do you think it's enough, or it has to be more?
The thing to be mindful is a process that you have to learn. Different from stress. Stress is a spontaneous response. It's a natural protective response against threats, perceived threats, or danger. Okay, is a survival mode, right? Fight or flight. But to be able to relax and to pause and to be mindful is we do have that capacity, but we have to learn how to access it, and you have to force yourself to do it, and that takes time, and for everybody is different. You know, different people have different things that made them to be able to get to that point that they can feel completely relaxed and be able to control their environment enough so they don't get that interruption. So you can start by plan to do something in a way, and if it doesn't work, then change the way. Sometimes you go into a room, sit down in a chair, take 4 deep breath, and you can actually fall into a state that you can actually meditate. Sometimes you can do it while you are walking through a park, taking fresh air, taking the sun at the beach. It's very different for everybody. Maybe taking a massage at the same time, you relax your body, you relax your mind. Whatever it is, you need to find it. And it's very particular, it's very individualized. But it's something that you owe to yourself. You cannot just pretend that somebody going to give you 15-minute break and that's is your break to go and have lunch, coffee, go to the bathroom, and then try to meditate at the same time. You have to separate your time to be mindful. That means you pause, be mindful, meditate, recharge, regenerate, refocus, and come back with new energy.
So the mindfulness is such a buzzword this day. What exactly, from the doctor's perspective, mean? How do I am getting to be mindful? What do I need to do to feel mindful?
Well, to be mindful, you need to, again, separate yourself from your environment, being within the environment. You do an inside review of yourself, and then you evaluate what are you doing in these situations, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to make positive changes. It's a matter of taking the time to do it, forcing the time to do it. One, you need to also, in that process, pay attention to the signal of your body. Your body will tell you, what's going on. I have pains, headaches, I can't sleep, okay? I'm grouchy, and I cannot get along with my coworkers, stuff like that. Your body, your mind, your experiences in the relation with your people tell you where you at. And then you have to start making the adjustment and the changes. But if you don't sit down to analyze and you go on with your life every day doing the same thing, the same time, that's expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. So
Yeah.
mindful is to be able to make an auto-analysis, okay? And for that, you need to pause.
So sounds like it's a habit that we need to form and practice the mindfulness and meditation. And it has to be a daily job, right? We have to do it daily, or how often?
Everybody, again, to a certain capacity, everybody have to do it in their own particular way. But when you are doing a mindfulness, you feel in the mindfulness state, you need to be asking you questions about, how do I feel today? How do I'm happy and sad and angry, and then look for the explanation for that. You say, do I have pain? Do I sleep well? Do I have good sex? Do all those things? And then if the answers are all negative, then you have to start working on that in that same process. But if you don't have the questions, you cannot get the answers. And then you're like a complete denial if you say, I'm fine, I don't need to do these things, because nobody's fine. Everybody have a little something. Everybody have always the capacity and the need to improve something, okay? And when you are feeling ill, hypertensive, high sugars, poor sleep, your relationship is in shams, you know that you're not fine. So, and then if you don't sit back and smell the roses and start feeling and start assessing your own existence, you don't going to be able to improve. And only in that way, when you can realize that you are that you can improve from within, then you become more productive. So pausing is very positive, okay? Because it's actually help with your health issues, your relationship issues, and overall quality of life.
So true, Dr. Jurado. What you said about assessment, we really don't take it seriously, but sounds like it's something that we need to do as our own job, not wait for the doctor to tell you, but pause, self-assess, breathe, meditate, and take it seriously. So, Dr. Jurado, share with us, what would you say are the really three takeaways or techniques that you could recommend for the women on the go to start incorporating right away?
Just start realizing that pausing is not an empty space, that when you are pausing, you are not wasting your time. You are actually involved in a very positive activity that's going to render benefits in the short and in the long term. So, and then you have to do it, okay? Understand the benefit and then find a way to do it. Remember, it's a learned, it's a learned process. You don't, as you said, nobody gonna give you the time. Oh, it's the time for pausing, guys. Now everybody pause in your workplace. That won't happen, okay? Because they're gonna think that you are wasting your time. But if you're pausing on your own because you understand there is a benefit, okay, then you don't feel guilt of being a little selfish for your own good, because you know that it's helping you to have that clear vision of the path. And third is find the time and then go ahead and do it. Learn how to do it, and everybody have to learn their own ways. So and it could be as short as 15 minutes in inside your office with some soft music, relax in your chair, taking deep breathing. There are different methods that can enhance that process. Breathing, music, you name it. You can do different things to enhance that process. But when you are in there by yourself, for yourself, okay, then you start understanding where you are, and pretty much take those principles and start doing it. In my practice, many of my patients, even though if we do optimize their hormones and they're having a healthy lifestyle, eating well, exercising, but they have this stress level that is off the roof, they feel like nothing else is working. Okay, so they do it. I do everything right, doctor, but my work, I have no time. I have so many commitments, my family, my kids. And when they feel like even if you balance everything else, it doesn't feel like it's doing anything for them. So take the time to be mindful, release your stress, reanalyze, refocus, and recharge, and you will see a big difference.
What I hear you say is, number one is understand that taking a pause is not a waste of time. Commit because it's your own responsibility to take charge of your body and empower yourself to pause, reset, recharge. And number three, that it's all individual. You have to find a way what works best for you.
Do it. Go ahead and do it.
And do it. And do it. Well, thank you, Dr. Jurado. This was an amazing conversation. You've been so instrumental and so amazing sharing your experience. We've known you for so many years. Thank you for being a supporter of the Sue Stilettos and Lipstick Foundation. Please tell us how our viewers can get in touch with you, how they can ask questions, and where is your practice, how they can follow you.
Okay, thank you for the outlet, Elena. Our practice is in Coral Springs, Florida. We have a website, it's called mdtouchfl.com, but we also have an open, dedicated email address for our public to send us any questions about this talk and future talks, which is to make you better at mdtouchfl.com. So if you are so kind to send us all your questions, I will answer them personally about these topics and more. Find more information of our services in our website, and we will hope to be able to be of help.
This is wonderful. I know your office is also very active on social media, MD Touch Aesthetics and Wellness. So to make you better at mdtouchfl is the email address.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us and with our followers so ladies can ask their questions and get an answer straight from you.
It will be my pleasure.
Thank you, Dr. Jurado. Well, everyone, we will see you again next week at 12:30 on Wednesday to continue our EmpowHer conversation with Dr. Jurado again. And we will be talking on a different topic, which will be a hot one. So do not miss. Stay tuned and follow us on social media as well. And follow Dr. Jurado. He is a wealth of information. Thank you, Dr. Jurado. We appreciate you. Have a great day. Thank you. Oh, and for those that do not know our website, it's sslwomen.org. And of course, Sue Stilettos and Lipstick Foundation on all social media outlets and YouTube. Thank you, Dr. Corrado. Enjoy your day and your patience.